There are a couple interesting choices there. Welcome in game one, the Stray King versus Maxymczech here in TDM7 Division 9. We are here on Fez to kick things off. And we've got the Celts for Stray King. It's going to be the Berbers for Maxi. It's a difficult matchup. It can be a difficult matchup both ways. The Celts are maybe my least favorite Civ to play against in the entire game in DM. They are brutal if you're against an opponent that is confident in their like siege micro. They're just so difficult to deal with. We'll see how Stray King does with it though. Berbers for Maxi, of course, opening Cav Archers. This is known. It's not a terrible opening either. I think even against the Celts, it's especially not that bad, right? Because if you open camels or whatever, maybe you can snipe a Vill or two, but the camels are always going to get cleared up, so it's not terrible here. And I think long term the Cav Archers are good. Berbers do have the mobility. Oh boy. Last time I watched Maxi, he made about 60 galleys up here, and he's 5 docking quite quickly. See if he's changed his mind on how much navy he needs to win water on this map. Cav Archers hoovering around the base. This is where Maxi thrives. Getting 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. 6. One more. Not quite. Or unless? Not quite. 6 villagers down for the Stray King early on is tough, though. Castle will complete, and we are getting the death ball rolling here. It's going to be Celt Scorpions to at least start with, which I think is alright. Halb Scorpion, Treb, and or Wodes is a pretty good composition here against the Cav Archer Civs. And you don't need to micro the Scorpions as much, right? That's the big perk of the Scorpions over the SO, is you can kind of just let them shoot at whatever, and they have ballistics and whatnot. They're not going to nuke your own army for free, like the SO will. Another castle at the front. Maxi a little bit faster on the expansion angle. Going to be getting on the gold in the south. Making a castle directly underneath the hill is probably fine when it's your back castle. If you're getting pushed all the way back there, it's already pretty bad news for you on this map. Okay, he stopped at 15. All right, Maxi has stopped at 15 galleys. That's a massive improvement over the 60 of last time. It's enough to take control over the water. You can kill some villagers. You can deny stone, some wood lines and stuff. But it doesn't keep half your army off the field, which is great. Now that question becomes, though, how do you deal with this as the Berbers? I think you need Bombard Cannon, I suppose. Onager is fine. If it's just Scorpions, I guess. Scorpion Ram. Camel Archers are getting slashed up by the Scorpions, though. The Hussar will as well. Instant 100 elo bonus. Exactly. See, Maxi improves every single game he plays. That's what people don't get about Maxi. He's always improving. He never reaches his final form. Cavalry into the Halb. Don't really get it done, but the siege survives long enough to push into the Scorpions. Decent shots. It is still Celt Scorpions, so the Onagers don't quite do as well as normal. Onagers go down, but there's more behind. I'm not sure how to take this engagement. Guess it's okay on both sides. Scorpions have to back up. Maxi's holding, which is great news for the Berbers. I think the longer this goes, the worse it is for the Celts. They need to kind of be in a big death ball pushing. Especially if Maxi has total control over the north, which he will, and he has a decent foothold in the south. though Stray King is also expanded down there now. Maxi getting more Vil kills at the base of this castle. Will not deny the castle. But it is 13-0 Eco KD in Maxi's favor. Maxi hits the market. Woad Raiders are going to find a tough engagement against the Camel Archers and the Cavalry Archers, but the Scorpions won't! Maxi! Just passing! Ooh! Oh my god! Maxi chose the wrong moment to look away. Stray King even hits him with the RIP. Maxi lost a lot of stuff there, and Maxi agrees with Erect. But Maxi showing up in the south. Can't sit underneath the castle, but will kill some villagers down here. Stray King, not really much of a gold economy behind this. So if Maxi can get a clear up on the military, he's still in a good spot. He's going to have to replace all of his Cav Archers, though. And without the Cav Archer mass on the field, the Woad Raiders can come in here and do some damage. Good O shots. Not SO for the Berbers, but regular onagers. Did a lot of splash damage on the Woad, so the Hussar can come in and clear things up. Rebs are forward, though. "40 Scorpions on the field. 4 Stray King is a lot of Scorpions. A couple of completely unassisted trebuchets in the south for Maxi. He might... Nah, he almost kills this castle, though. He won't quite. And Maxi getting pushed in the base. Man, losing that army was so bad for Maxi. He was pushing everything back. He had map control. He's still getting good eco damage in. It's 55 to 38 villagers, so not an extreme economy for either player. Still full control over the north. Maxi thinking about relics. He's got 2 from his side already. He can collect all of these up here for free, more or less. Woad's running through. Panic Castle just to protect the fishing economy. Okay, I don't mind that too much, actually. It's going to look a little bit funny once the fish get dried up, but that's alright. Onagers going down to the trebuchets. They missed their shots there, though. Maxi might be on the pushback again. Forward castle for Stray King on Maxi's gold eco, though. This is overflow villagers from this gold pile. Oh, Maxi did castle the hill. Perfect. He put another castle here on the hill I talked about earlier. But this is a lot of gold access for Stray King. Woad's now going into the north. There is a castle up here, though. So they can't really harass things too much. Does Maxi have an answer to this army? Everything that gets close will die to the Scorpions. Woad's picking off reinforcements as they come out of the production buildings. There's no... the eco is a bit of an issue for Maxi now. He's got nothing on wood, which is really bad for the Berbers in this situation, because he needs Bombard Cannon, Onager, and Cav Archers to deal with everything that's not a Scorpion, right? Can't make any of that without a wood economy. Forward castle goes down for Stray King. He does take out the hill castle for Maxi, but there's still one back here. Maxi will at least have some gold access and could get a lot of eco damage in on Stray King on a reversal here. Question is, can he hold his base? Still very little on wood for Maxi. The Scorpions are just ripping down Maxi's base themselves right now. Is there any bonus damage here? If I can click a Scorpion? 7. Okay. It's not terrible. Maxi's having to buy wood, which is a little unfortunate, but the rates aren't too bad. Rams are ripping down buildings now nice and quick with the Celt attack speed bonus. Maxi trying to bank up some onagers in the back is a good idea. But... Stronghold castles, taking down more villagers in the south. Maxi replaces this castle. Give himself a position to trub down another forward castle for Stray King. Siege workshops are going down for Maxi. He is killing the rams, though. And, I mean, there's fewer scorpions than there were. There's nothing but siege on the map right now for Stray King. This is not going to be a pretty fight for Maxi, but... he's going to have to take it, I think, pretty soon here. Fixing the eco. He's up to 7 relics. $31 Scorps is all that's left. The main base is going to be gone for Maxi, but that's there's nothing here. Like, the production buildings going down is a problem, but there's no actual resources here, right? So as long as you have side control, you're still alive on this map. Really good job by both players to constantly be focusing down here while also looking at the main fight, right? I feel like I would have been looking down here if I was Stray King and I would have lost all my scorpions for free. Didn't realize the map had so many relics. There are a lot of relics on this map, yeah. There's 8 up top, and then there's like 4 on the bottom, I think. So there are many relics here. Castle just stays up for Stray King. And I think he is going to take out all of the gold eco for Maxi. His push is going to start heading up north. After these castles go down, the Trebs can come up north. I think Stray King has this game. Maxi's been pushed too much. He's got 68 villagers. 103 for Stray King, though, who is buying food for Woad Raiders. Okay. Maxi's sending the vills. He's sending the town. That's all he's got down here in the south. And they might actually put in work. He does lose the castle behind this. Oh, they're Celt Trebs, though. They're Celt Trebs, though. They take so long to punch down. They're fortified with steel or something. So only one of them goes down. I actually thought Maxi might get all these Trebs for free, but good job, Stray King. Had the Woads in position. And I think Maxi might be cooked. He's going to send in the raids. Still has control over the north. Really nice castle here for Stray King, though. Will prevent the Cav Archers from being able to do too much. Trebs gonna head up to the north. Maybe? No, they're gonna really salt the earth on Maxi's base down here in the south. Not a single building has been left. Not in the middle and not in the south. Stray King is systematically annihilating every blue building on the map. Bombard cannon now for Maxi. I would have liked to see bombard cannons a little earlier. I think that was needed. But against like 50... He's not annihilating every building. Wait. He's not annihilating every building. He leaves the market up. The trade carts are coming in for the heist. Who needs relics? We're getting 15 gold a pop. Going back here, I guess. Is this the only market on the map? I guess so. Okay. Massive. Actually massive. Trading for a profit. I don't know. I think they won't pay for themselves before Maxi is defeated here, unfortunately, but I like the idea. I do like the idea very much. Maxi's going to have to bring the Navy back. Trebs are here, though. We're down to 28 Scorpions. But I think that's still enough Scorpions to deal with this military, unfortunately. Bombard cannon goes down, trying to go for the Trebs, but again, Celt Trebs don't care. They simply remain. Army count is actually in Maxy's favor right now. Granted, 16 of that is on the water, which doesn't really give... Well, I guess it's keeping his relics safe. But Scorpions are still a big issue. Castle will go down. Maxy is forced to tap out, and Stray King takes game 1. And it was really well played by both. That one mistake by Maxy, just clicking the whole army in here and they got completely butchered, that was a really tough one. Just that, like, 20 seconds of the game, I think, really turned things around for Stray King, but largely it was really well played by both. I think the Celt Death Ball is just really tough to deal with. Welcome in. Game 2, Maxymczech versus the Stray King. We are here on Lagoon, and Stray King says, this map, oh my god. Okay, so Maxy is going to be a little bit more comfortable on this map then. If I'm just basing it off that, I think Maxy maybe is a little bit more comfortable on Lagoon. Spanish for Maxy as well should make anybody feel pretty comfortable on Lagoon. It is the Portuguese for the Stray King. And scouts just trade against each other, nice and harmlessly. It's actually a Hussar opening for Maxy, along with, of course, the Navy. A couple cav... It probably should be Paladin, but a couple cav units mixed in just to maybe snipe some villagers is good. I do think it needs to be Halb long-term, though. Halb Navy is a very strong composition. Portuguese, you know, they're a great RM water civ, but they don't get fast fire ships or the last upgrade here, and they don't get shipwright, which is somewhat counteracted by circumnavigation, but not fully, right? Yeah, they lose 50% faster building, and they get 33% faster, so it's better than it used to be, but it's still not quite as good as shipwright for DM. But they still do spend less gold, right? So if they can stop themselves from being overrun by the soon-to-be 60 elite Spanish cannon galleons that are going to be on the field, maybe there's something here for the Portuguese, I don't know. I do like that Stray King has not been baited into caravels. I see a lot of players lose going caravels, unfortunately. As much as I would like the unit to be good, it just is not in most cases. Although, maybe caravels are better against the land units. I actually haven't seen how they interact that way. Maxy has completely ignored the middle water, by the way. The Stray King's going to take control of that. Could do some damage from the middle. Also, the middle long-term is where a lot of gold is on the oysters. But 39, now 42 elite Spanish cannon galleons on the field for Maxy. Still 18 in the queue. And how do you stop this? As the Portuguese, how do you stop this? I mean, there's not too much in front of them, so maybe you can just get it done with a bunch of galleys. Even the Spanish cannon galleons don't fire too quickly, so if you can get a lot of overkill, it's good staggering of fire here for Maxy, though. It's pretty easy to get everything firing all at the same time, and then they're all overkilling a couple ships at once, right? But and the Navy's only engaging on the little bit of meat shield Maxy has in front, which is exactly what you want if you're Maxy. We do have some stuff going down in the middle. Castles might fall. Maxy throws a lot of Navy back in there as well. So losing some cannon galleons at the front. I I think you need to ignore the Hussar if you're Stray King. I think the Hussar are doing way too much work right now. You can maybe patrol Halbs into the Hussar. I don't know where these Halbs are going, by the way. They seem to be just passing more than fighting. But Castle will fall for Maxi. Could lose some production buildings here as well. Maxi's coming back in. Has more cannon galleons on the other side as well, so it's going to start picking away at production. Really nice job by Maxi coming in on both sides. That Maxi saying I use select all docks to reduce and don't want to get that messed up by middle production, that gets me every single time I play this map. It actually is a big problem. I need to wean myself off of select all docks for this map in particular and actually put them on hot, not hot groups, but control groups. Because it's very easy to suddenly have way too much in the middle and nothing on the outside if you go both and you're selecting all buildings, so I get that 100%. But it's still... I think you still do need to fight for the middle, because look at how much... I mean, again, all this gold is almost 14,000 gold in the middle. Stray King gets completely crushed by the 45 elite Spanish cannon galleons. And I think it's over now, yeah. Once you get this ball going and there's... Yeah, they pick away at everything. Forgot how strong Spanish cannon galleons are. I did too my first set. I got absolutely smashed down into the lagoon by Spanish cannon galleons my first set as well. I believed a little bit too much in other ships, but c'est la vie. Welcome in Game 3. We're all tied up here. Stray King versus Maxi on Sertao. It is the Bohemians for Stray King against the Cumans for Maxi. Pretty far apart, really, as far as Sertao goes, at least. It's probably as far apart as you can possibly be on Sertao. Maxi does open with an archery range, but he's making stables behind this, so maybe he's also adapted his build order a tiny bit from the last time we saw Maxi play the Cumans on Sertao. Bohemians, I would like to see a castle and or a clump. Probably both. A clump and like 2 castles, ideally, here for the Bohemians. Though, I guess the clump doesn't matter that much against the Cav Archer opening, right? 2 villagers dead already. Halb's trying to chase down the Cav Archers. Another villager goes down, though. Cav Archers still dancing, but they don't run far enough. And you know what? There's not military here right now. Castle in the back for Stray King is going to be getting the hand... Ooh, true. Stray King always is going to go for the hand cannons as well, which is not good here. But alright. We're getting into... I mean, we're going Cuman Cav Archers and Bohemian hand cannons, right? That's what we expect from this set. 3 more villagers down, make it 4. Oof. The secondary rush by Maxi is starting to come in clutch. And castle goes up in the back, so maybe Stray King can expand towards the back a little bit here. It does still cover the TC if Maxi's trying to actually kill the TC, which is nice, I guess. More vills dying, though. Stray King's down to 3 villagers, 10-0 Eco KD in Maxi's favor, and he's not done yet. He still has plenty of res in the bank. The production hasn't been as fast as the Cuman sometimes can pump it, right? It's tough to pull off the Cuman push. Maxi has a market, but has not done anything with it yet. Maxi's thinking about the TC, but with the Halbs and the castle, it might be more expensive than it's worth. Another villager goes down for Stray King. He might lose 2 more up here on the barracks. He loses 2 more down here on the castle. He's got 0 villagers. the Hussite wagons, not the best against the Steppe Lancers either, and I think this is a Maxi victory. I think the Cumin Rush is really tough to deal with, and the GG is indeed called. Maxi takes 2 games in a row. No comeback this time. In this case, Bohemians were too slow, yeah? That's true. That is true. I think even if you're not going to clump, which you don't... Clumping is maybe not the best against the full Cav Archer opening, but I think you do still need a castle here, or whatever, right? Try to defend it with halves. It's tough, though, man. It's really tough. This is what Maxi wants to achieve every time. True! This is peak Maxi gameplay. It's just killing his opponent in the first 5 minutes with Cav Archers. Welcome in Game 4, Stray King versus Maxi here on good old Savannah. It is the Vietnamese for Maxi. It is the Turks for the Stray King. And let's see what happens. It's a Turk Spearman opening for Stray King, the fabled Spearman opening. But of course, we will be going into actually some camels here for Stray King, maybe. I think the stable opening would be better than the Spearman opening, but that's okay. Sometimes I just build a barracks, no matter what, because I feel like having 1 barracks down is always good, but it's not always good, and is the issue. So sometimes I just put a barracks down when I shouldn't. But it is what it is. Of course, it's going to be Cav Archers for Maxi. I talked about Rattans and all that, but we do always open Cav Archers. We are going some elephants, though. Okay. We are going some elephants. Turks don't have the best answer for elephants. I think normally you go heavy Scorpion, even though they don't get siege engineers, but that's kind of the only thing you have against elephants. But in this case, I think Stray King will just try to overwhelm with hand cannon numbers. So, we'll see. Stray King thinking about this big hill in the front of his base, which I like having eyes on these. I also think it's easy, especially on Savannah, to just get keyed in on resources, at least for me. So I'm thinking like castle here to secure this, here to secure this, but these hills are probably more important. Here come the Cav Archers again. They're going to kill a bunch of vills. 5 vills down. Elephants are cleared up. The enemy's Cav Archers should also be quite good against the hand cannons. So it's another bit of, Maxi's style does, or should, counter Stray King's style. Camels go forward. They will not find a particularly favorable fight here. Cav Archers dive for villagers, though, and they die as well. I think 1 villager went down here, maybe. That's not a terrible trade for Stray King. Stray King is giga housed right now. He's making houses just 1 villager, though, so that might not be ideal. Camels with the gunpowder behind. Also some spearmen in here. Getting good damage against the elephants, though. Castle is again sniffed out by Maxi. Gets 2 more villagers. And Stray King's gonna have to abandon this for a moment. Maxi over microing, just let him do DPS behind. Yeah. It's tough. You want to micro the Cav Archers, man. Why do you go Cav Archers if you don't want to micro them all the time? Well, he's not over microing anymore. They're up on the hill, but they're putting arrows into the tanky Turk Hussar while the hand cannons shred them from behind. That's a really good engagement for Stray King. He has quite a few camels on the field, which I think is really good. Castle does complete for Stray King. He's going to go for another one on the other big hill. Cav Archers snipe the villager, though. But, I mean, Maxi's out of gold. His eco is much stronger because he keeps diving for the villagers. But if he loses too many cav archers and elephants. He might not have a military left. Okay, he does hit the market first, which is really good. He definitely needed to do that. I think he needs to sell wood, though. Probably. As well. Treb's getting sniped. I don't know, maybe you shouldn't doubt Stray King with the gunpowder sieves. Just saying, like I said at the beginning, sometimes if you pick a non-meta strategy but you get really, really, really good at it, you can just win a lot of games that a lot of other, maybe even, you know, higher division players wouldn't. Life isn't a pony farm. Life isn't a pony... I think there is... That just really reminded me of something. I think there is that saying in English too, but it might be worded slightly differently. Maxi diving for the bombard cannons, but he's diving into the camels. Elephants not taking the best fight against everything else. Lots of camels going down. Trebuchets will also go down for Stray King. 43 cav archers on the field for Maxi still. He's out of gold again. He's going to have to sell the wood and some more food. I would like to see scorpions here for Stray King. It's good against everything Maxi's making, I guess, except for the bombard cannons. I think it is still worth getting on the field, right? We're out of food now. So we have the resources for scorpions and not anything else. On the bright side, Stray King can buy food for really, really cheap if he gets the market down. Oh, there is a market here. So the food prices are bottomed out if he wants to go for them. And we have the Vietnamese skirmishers in the queue. Cav archers again dive on the siege. I feel like these are not worth it, though. Maxi keeps diving for the siege, which usually can be good, but he loses so much every time he does it. And he's out of gold now. He's got bombard cannons, but he's going Vietnamese light cav and imperial skirmishers, which both are just countered by the camels, or Asar even, if the food eco gets sorted out. We might get a decider game moment here. We'll see. It's still very even, I think. Maxi does have a much better economy behind this, it's got to be said. And the unit choice for Maxi will do well versus the Janissaries. So Stray King might start taking some damage. He's got 3 castles here to slow down the bombard cannon push from Maxi. Buys a little food. I think more food is fine. Camels are here. Only 16 cav archers though. They're gonna snipe some bombard cannons. These are very expensive units for Maxi. He takes 1 castle down, but he loses a lot of siege, and he's losing a lot of cav archers as well. Still 3 bombard cannons survive. He's going to take out another castle from Stray King. Maybe Maxi's eco behind is strong enough to carry him through. Oof. Got like 70 villagers on this wood line. I mean, there are multiple TCs around it, but I think we're going to need to expand the base a little bit here. Bombard cannon, micro. Maybe a little bit stronger for Stray King. Maybe not. We'll see. I like this little outpost for Maxi. He has a monastery out here too. But neither player has been able to think about relics just yet. Expanding the farms now is Stray King. That's good. Both players kind of in a reset angle. And Stray King actually is switching into the cav archers. Let's go! Fight Maxi with his own fire. so to speak. I mean, we are switching into them now that Maxi is like full imp skirm, which is maybe not ideal timing, but alright, I like this as well. Castle on the hill over the gold. Really good positioning for Maxi. Paper money abuse, true! 70 villagers on the wood. Ooh, you gotta be careful with the skirmishers, though, when you're up against Turk bombard cannons. Or else they really get hit. They aren't Hoofnitsa, but they're still pretty good. Suddenly it's the Stray King, who has a pretty good military on the field. Hussar now can kind of be produced with a decent food eco behind this. Still, I'm concerned long-term for Stray King, because he hasn't really taken his auxiliary resources out here, right? Also, a lot of these farms aren't covered by the castle, which is unfortunate. Breaking buying stone to put a cat. Nice. Perfect. I guess. It's kind of awkward. The farms are on the hill, right? So if you put the castle on the hill, it doesn't cover the farms. Not many more skirms left. The Hussar just tanking shots. Bombard cannons get up kind of on the hill. Cav archers are tough to deal with for Maxi right now. He's got 3 skirms and 11 ratans on the map. I don't think that's enough for all these Turkish Cav archers. He's got the hill. He's got the bombard cannons behind. Trebs for Maxi, trying to dome some bombard cannons. He gets 1, 2. Vietnamese light cav are going to come in. I guess they only missed the attack, right? And then obviously Hussar. So it's not the worst light cav in the world. Stray King trying to protect the bombard cannons. I don't know if he needed to back up here, though. He's going to lose all of his siege on the retreat. I think he could have... maybe not. Maybe it's not worth it. There's still a lot of counter units in here for Maxi. Maybe saving the numbers is just fine. Maxi looking for another wood line. He doesn't need to stop microing. Only good news for Maxi, not many skirms left. The skirms are great here. What are you talking about? It's 44 heavy cav archers and 9 hussar. You can absolutely beat that with just Imperial skirms. Maxi's going to dive through with the cav archers again. This is the issue. I think this actually is maybe an issue for Maxi, is sometimes he overcommits to throwing his gold units for the raids, which is normal in other game modes, but I think at this stage of the game, you really need to keep your gold units alive. Hussar go forward. They will still do pretty well against this stuff. They actually do quite well against the Rattans. Only 16, but they survive more than I thought they would, even with the extra armor. Actually trying to out-micro the bombard cannons. Now Stray King is thinking he can commit to the fight. He's down the hill now, though. And yeah, I don't think this is... He could still win this fight, but I don't know if it's worth winning this fight. Get the Hussar in the front, that's good. Actually, this is a really good fight now. Hussar in the front. Bombard cannons behind with the cav archers. Skirms tank while the Rattans retreat. Maybe to a more favorable position. Turks are famously one of the best post-gold civs in the game in DM. And kind of in RM, assuming you planned for it correctly. We aren't post-gold yet, by the way, though. Stray King's going to go out for that extra gold I talked about earlier. Maxi might be getting close to a post-gold situation. Maxi is starting to think about relics. He's got 1 in the bank now. He does lose this wood line, though. Gonna try and stay on it with some lumber camps, but if Stray King actually goes down here, it's gonna be a problem. Halbs are not giving us very much, but I guess you need them for the Hussar? I guess you do need them for the Hussar. It's actually a pretty bad... What do you make as the Vietnamese here? Good shots up here, by the way. And good shots there. Stray King did find the wood line. I said it would be a disaster, and it kind of is. I guess Maxi was a little bit over boomed, so it's not the end of the world. Forward castle on the big hill. Now it is Maxi's turn to maybe have a bad place for his opponent to have a castle. Cav Archer's out of position, though. Maxi's going to try and out-micro them with the Rattan. He's doing okay so far. He's got in close. I think this is a good dive. There have been a couple unoptimal dives for Maxi in this game. I think this is a good one. He clears all of the bombard cannons. He's going to lose the Rattans. I think that's still worth it, but a little tough. Cav Archers regroup. Castle has to be abandoned. I think Rattans take 1 damage per arrow from CA. Yeah, but there's 50 of them, right? So they're still one-shotting the Rattans. Even if they do only 1 damage, they're still one-shotting them. Overwhelming numbers, man. Castle in defense for Stray King instead. We'll still get good ground here. Nice job by Maxi. Again, raiding with the gold unit, but finds really good value that time. Yeah, the key of keeping your army alive is also, I think, why I'm not higher elo. I can relate to that. I think Stray King just needs a little bit more on food. Spam Hussar, always have like 10 to 20 Hussar out in front of this army, and you never lose. I think that's the key to victory here now for Stray King. If he allows Maxi to pick away at his gold units, it's not great. And that's going to be another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... No, just 6 bombard cannons sniped out. 3 HP left on that guy. Hussar does show up forward again, so Maxi could lose some Rattans. Maxi is still only with the 1 relic. I'm curious to see when or if the players think about that again. We're at the stage of the game where it's actually quite important who has the relics. Still stone to fight over, I suppose. Castle here for Stray King. Ooh. Castle to protect 48 gold, and it's at the bottom of all these hills. Who was this? Was this Breslin who made the castle right in the center of like an entire ring of hills last season? Reminds me of that. Maxi's got some halbs to deal with the Hussar as they dive in. Otter, what are you doing? Are you abusing your mod powers? Stray King loses some Cav Archers. The numbers are looking a little bit dire. I think we are in a post-gold situation pretty much. Oh, actually, Maxi has a sneaky 2,600 gold still in the back of his base. That's nice. That's actually really nice. Man. It was a really good game. Stray King really fought well in this game. I think Maxi might be able to turn this into a victory from here. He still got gold to take. Stray King has resources, but I think is struggling to figure out what the composition needs to be. I think it's just more Hussar. We never quite got up to like 60. I guess we are pretty close to 60, but that kind of 60, 70 farm count to just constantly spam all these stables with Hussar. This is a good dive, though. More Rattans going down. What was the actual first thing? What was the first thing that was said? I didn't see it before it got deleted. Now Kiki's bonking people, alright. Abusing my poor viewership. I don't know if you can you undelete a message? I actually have no idea. I think I can see it still if I do some legwork. Maxy's out of another wood line. Is this a wood game? It could be. This is a funny looking castle, but it's actually not a bad one to protect the wood line here. There's still a lot of wood back here, though, for Stray King. If this is a wood game, it's going to go on for a long time. Skirmishers. Putting in the work. Yeah, I think deleted messages used to just be struck out in what I'm looking at. So I guess that got changed somewhere along the way. Oh well. Bombard cannon, snipe a Treb there nicely. Maxy is making another monk. His first monk is still alive, but it's healing the troops forward in the fight. This actually might be... Stray King is now forced into making pretty much only Hussar, and I think that will be good for him, actually. Because the Hussar will do amazing work here. There's tons of Halb for Maxy. Does he... Why are there so few on the field? Does he only have, like, 2 barracks? Where are his barracks? Actually. Oh, they're here. Okay. Okay, 6 barracks. That's not too bad. Hussar rolling in. Good micro by Maxy to target the Cav Archers behind, but the Skirms and the Rattans all get cleared up by the Hussar. We're up to 70 farms. We hit it. We did it. We hit the number. That's what we needed. Just need to keep the stables queued and we'll be pretty good here. I don't know if... I know the scout line is like the post-gold unit to make, but I don't know if Vietnamese light cav is the unit to make here. Maxy's villagers trying to escape the wood line, but they're running through the rest of the army. Villagers helping, yeah. they were soaking some... They were creating some covering fire for their backline, I suppose. More bombard cannons will be sniped, though. There are no relics for Stray King, so every siege unit that's lost is really, really expensive. The Halbs are finally actually hitting the field here for Maxy. They're not stuck in the barracks anymore, so decent fight up on the hill, but Cav Archer Hussar still survives. I feel like the players are really fighting for this wood line, considering there are so many other wood lines that both players could take completely free. They're both very focused on this wood line in particular. Which, I guess it's an objective to fight over, right? Maxi yoinks another relic. He's got 2. This would be the 3rd, but I think this Hussar has found him. Which maybe means Stray King's thinking about it now, and yeah, he is. Where's the monastery? This is important. It's okay. It's okay. I think I would probably put it like here. But I'm paranoid about monasteries. Maxi's light cav, don't see the monk, so Stray King might yoink that one. There's still one over here. I actually don't know where the other relic is. Surely it's somewhere here in Stray King's base, right? Classic, didn't build the mill on the farms, by the way. That happens to me a lot as well, for some reason. Maxi is sieging this forward castle for Stray King. Stray King is going to run out of stone very quickly. There's still this completely untouched secondary stone. Neither player has been able to take that. This is actually what they should be fighting over, not this wood line. Treb. Dome's a halb. Hussar looking for a surround, but they go back. They go back. Yeah, Maxi's Q is looking pretty good. 125 light cav in the queue for Maxi. Hussar do find a really good engagement, though. The Halball go forward underneath the castle for Maxi. So the Hussar can just roll in and snipe all the siege and deal some damage to the Rattans. Stray King is really expensively repairing this castle. Look at how much you have to sell just to buy 100 stone. But the Hussar are here again. They are strictly better than the Vietnamese light cav. Rattans have to pull back. There's a Treb here now. Bombard cannon is sniped, but it does take out the Treb. More bombard cannons will go down, though. Gotta get the cav archers out of here. Here's one of the monks. Oh, it's right here. I don't know if Stray King realizes it's there. It's virtually impossible to see on the map with the yellow that Stray King is. So I don't know if he sees that, but he should have that relic for free if he does notice it. Maxi lost his monks, so he's not going to be able to take this one. Maxi was lucky that Stray King doesn't get Elite Skirm. Unironically, kind of. Elite Skirm would go hard here as the Turks. Imagine the Turks with Elite Skirmisher. That's actually scary. 4 Cavalier. That's an expensive misclick, if that's a misclick. And it's an expensive mistake if it's not a misclick. I don't know what those Cavalier are going to do. Okay, we're taking some woodline control in the back now. Stray King is. Do the Turks get Imperial Skirmisher when they team with Vietnamese? That's actually a good question. How does that work? They can just jump straight from regular Skirmisher to Imp Skirm? I actually have no idea how that works. Do they just get regular Skirmisher until Imperial Age, and then they can upgrade it to Imp Skirm? I have no clue. Maxi going for the raids. It's a lot of farming space, not underneath castles. It's bound to happen eventually, I guess. I would probably be farming like up in here. if I'm Stray King, or even back here. You could even delete this TC and farm like in here. Raiding the wood lines is nice. We've got counter raids though. Stray King's going to rip a TC down with just Hussar. No, they don't. All allies except Turks? That's crazy. What a strange... I mean, it makes sense. Like I said, it would be confusing. He didn't kill a TC, that's sad. But that's very funny that the Turks are the one exception there. Why leave? I guess just to clear this up. Bombard cannons at the front. Ooh, Relic was yoinked. I think this Relic was yoinked by Stray King. I missed that, sorry. That's actually huge. Castle falls. The Hussar came back, but we're not able to clear up the siege because of the Halbs. I mean... I think you just throw them in. Yeah. We're losing Cav Archers here. Oof, that's a tough fight. That's a really tough fight for Stray King to have taken. Has to pull back. Total pop is not looking so good for Stray King anymore. Yeah, it's just this Relic left, and again, I don't think Stray King knows it's there. How are the wood lines looking? Maxi still has a couple big ones to take. Yeah, Stray lost quite a few farmers in that raid, right? Is replacing them now, though. There we go. There we go. Still, this is very raidable farm, right? It's really tough, and it takes a lot of APM to replace your farms underneath these castles now, but I think it's still worth doing. Maybe another nice raid on the wood line here for Maxi. We'll see if Stray King notices. Answer is no. Oh, notices last second, so maybe Maxi won't be able to kill this TC with the light cav. At the same time, big fight at the front, nice job by Maxi, hitting both places kind of at the same time. Rattans dove again for the bombard cannons. I feel like Stray King is being a little too precious with the Hussar. This is your trash unit, right? Just even if you're not taking very good fights against Halb and stuff, sometimes you just need to throw them in there. And what will be will be. There we go. Takes the fight. Did take the hill first, which is nice. Now he's going to charge out and take another good fight. Skirms and Rattans going down. Halbs, again, not really on the field. It's a little tough that Maxi has all of his production buildings all the way over here. It takes the Halbs forever to get back into the fight. There we go. Halbs, light cav, whatever. Hussar can throw in there. Forces Maxi all the way back to his castle. There are bombard cannons here. Also, another this woodline of death continues to rack up bodies on the side. Maxi's going to dive on the bombard cannons again. He gets one. He gets one. He gets both, okay. But he loses everything. It's 2-2 relics. Hussar in the back line now. They're going to snipe bombard cannons. I think that's already 4 bombard cannons that have gone down. 5. Cav archers maybe can back up now. There's no real reason to fight here anymore. We don't have the siege to push any position, so we're just losing Cav archers for free. Okay, there we go. I don't think Maxi will kill this TC with the light cav, but we are getting there. Still 160 light cav in the queue for Maxi, 88 halb. The queue is just not there for Stray King. I think needs a few more villagers again. Get back to like 120-ish. Put a few more on. The food count is really nice. We need a little bit more wood now. Lack of crop rotation might actually matter here. Oh, Stray King found the other relic. He's got all three now. That's big. That's actually massive. It kind of evens him up now with Maxi's 2 plus paper money, right? That's really nice. I think we need to start fighting over these wood lines now more heavily, right? He's Q-less. paper money. What? Paper money's great, bro. What do you mean? It's like if you get up to 60, what is it? 60 or 70 villagers is 2 relics or something like that. Can't remember the actual numbers, but is it 50 for 1? Oh, that's not as good as I thought. But still, you know, an extra relic until wood runs out isn't bad. Raids on both sides. The wood lines do get cleared up, so I guess paper money's not very good if you only have 11 lumberjacks left. Farming is impacted, but Stray King has added enough farms that even when the raids come in and force him off some farms, he is still on a decent amount of farms, which is nice. Got some Janissaries mixed in here as well. Stray King loves circling around with the Hussar for the big surrounds. Maybe a little bit too much. He takes the hill, though. Bombard Cannon's kind of on the wrong side of things here. And where are the halbs for Maxi? There's a great queue for Maxi, but he only ever has like 15 halbs on the field at any given time. So I think he just needs more barracks. Is that the answer? Skirmishers. Finding some worthwhile picks on the Janissaries. But again, Stray King's going to have the forward position. He's got 2 bombard cannons, but they are not forward yet. And this, you can just do this forever, right? You can just dive on these Rattans always and forevermore. Forcing Maxi to spend gold on Rattans means he doesn't have the gold for siege, right? Which is great. Takes the hill again. Halbs are finally arriving for Maxi. He's up to 50 as well. Where are the halbs? He's got 50? I guess they're all just coming in here. Feels like he does not have 50. Okay, there's more barracks, and they're even close to the fight. Beautiful. Stray King loses his Hussar. He has to back up. 84 farms is really nice. That's great. Got a Scorpion on the field. Okay. I did say I wanted to see Turk Scorpions, but it was an hour ago. I don't know. I guess it's still fine. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's not. I guess it's a gold unit that doesn't help you kill any buildings, or it helps you kill the halbs. Ooh, this could be a big surround for Maxi. The numbers just aren't here for Stray King. Light Cav roll through, they snipe the siege. They snipe some of the Cav archers and some of the Janissaries. That was a really good fight for Maxi. Stray King selling wood. I mean, I guess we're mostly making Hussar, but I think we got to start saving that soon here. There is still a lot of wood on the map, though. Still 50k wood on the map? Stray has the relic advantage, he does. And the farm lead, he does. No crop rotation is going to be tough, though, yeah. I don't know who's winning right now. Neither player really has a wood bank. The military number is concerning me for Stray King. He just needs more stables and more Hussar, I think. Yeah, there we go. If Maxi starts raiding, he'd win. He's been trying. This is the issue, though. Whenever Maxi dives through... Oh, this could be a massive raid, though. The issue Maxi has had is that whenever he dives through with a raid, he loses his army elsewhere, right? But it might be worth it. I think it's definitely worth it here. That's a lot of farms abandoned. A lot of villagers going down. He will lose the light cav army now, but that was a lot of villagers that went down. 30 farms have been idled, at least. We'll see in a couple seconds here how many Stray King has on food. Here comes Maxi. He's got some trebs here. He's got halbs. He's got some ratans and skirms. We'll see if it's enough. It's a lot of Hussar, though, for Stray King. Just throw him in. Just patrol in. Yep, there we go. Don't care about the halbs. Just get him in there. Treb goes down to bombard cannons. Ratans are going down. Hussar die, but again, that's what they're here for, right? Selling food is fine. Yeah, we're below 60 farms again. We'll have to fix that. I'd like to maybe vary up where we're attacking. Both players really are just very super focused on smashing their armies together right here. I think maybe Maxi mixing it up, taking out this castle. I think he could probably sneak this castle down for free if he banks up 3 or 4 trebs, something like that. I think could be really good. Slowly work your way in, right? The relics are right here, which I don't know if Maxi knows. Kind of he does. There's virtually nothing left to fight over here, except for the farms in the back of Stray King's base. So I think you do have to shift your focus around. I like these raids for Stray King. You can find more villager kills on these wood lines. Another Treb is here for Maxi, though. He's going to go for this castle again, and I don't know if Stray King has the military for it anymore. Yeah, Turks are a great post-gold civ, but they need their gold units alive for that moment, right? Stray King is now in the unfortunate position where he's got no gold and no gold units. So... it's still really good Hussar the Turks have, but might not be enough anymore. Because without the gold units, Maxi can just basically go full halb, sit on his siege, and there's never anything that Stray King can do. Maxi is buying stone for a TC here, okay. Castle might go down. There is a bombard cannon here, but I don't know if it can... I guess it can snipe the Treb. One more shot. Okay. Does snipe the Treb, but the castle goes down on the last hit. That kind of cracks the base wide open for Stray King. It's now a easy shot into this eco. This eco is uncovered. The monastery is here. That might have been the game-winning fight for Maxi. Cav archers are trying to be remassed, but they're in the middle of the fight. Ratans are in here, halbs. Maybe it's not the game-ending fight. Stray King's still selling so much wood. But he kind of needs it now, right? He needs gold units in here or he's going to die. DM is like going to a Donner place. The longest queue wins. I don't think I understand what you're saying. I don't think my culture can translate what you're talking about. Just like the better product, the longer the queue. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Maxi is... I don't know if I can count this as varying up the angle of attack. He's just hunting for castles now. Halbs get a little bit too far away from the siege, though. So the Hussar roll in, they snipe the Treb, and they move on. But I don't know. These are good raids again. I feel my hope for Stray King here slowly slipping away. I think Maxi is in a pretty good position to close it out, though. Saying that, these are the only wood lines that Maxi is taking right now. Stray King still has these mostly uncontested. If Maxi takes out the relics, it's a huge deal. But it's a huge deal that Maxi is out of wood as well. Stop selling the wood, Stray King. We need to keep that. Brother, it's a wood game. I think it is officially a wood game and has been. It probably has been for a little bit now, but it definitely is now. These are expensive losses. The Halbs are diving on the bombard cannons. 2 more bombard cannons go down. I don't even know if you need the bombard cannons anymore. I think you just go Hussar spam, all of your gold goes into CA, and you play the wood game now for Stray King. I think that's your best win con that's left. Maybe back the relics up when you can. That's maybe a good use of gold, but it's probably... I don't know. It's maybe okay there. Going capped ram. What? Maxi has no wood and only 2 relics, and he's going for a ram push. Okay, interesting. Stray King really does not care about his wood. He is selling every piece of wood he gets. Okay. Here comes the first ram. There's 5 more on the way. Hussar find out the Rattans. Now they go back. They're going to take out the ram. I don't think this ram was worth it. I'm going to be honest. I don't think this ram did what we wanted it to. Where are the other rams? 2 more coming in now? I guess that's the only other 2 on the map. The Halb are expensive now, which is a big issue for Maxi. If he runs out of wood for constant Halb production, it's actually a disaster. Because the Halb are the only thing keeping him alive from just a straight Hussar spam. Another ram goes down. Halbs jump out, but the Halbs die. Cav Archer's also dying, though. More Hussar being produced. Patrol stacking. Very good use of patrol stacking. Light Cav get swallowed up by the Hussar. More Halbs. Maxi is gonna run out of this wood line pretty soon. I think this is a good fight. Eventually, even trading Hussar for Halb is good in a wood game. It becomes better eventually. And of course, killing the Rattans is amazing for Stray King if he's able to. Castle remains. We've got bombard cannons here. The TC on the, I guess, the best woodline Maxi has left goes down. Cav archers on the other one. Maxi's going to go back down to 0 on wood for a little while. Pull the Cav archers back. These are, man. Again, I don't know if we need the bombard cannons anymore. I guess killing the TC is nice. Britons are really diving in on the Cav archers. Have to rethink things as their meat shield is disappearing, though. Rams dying for free. Maxi might get this castle. He doesn't. Is Stray King gonna win this? This has been a great game, by the way. Actually really good by both players. Okay, oh, a sneaky Treb went forward with no backup for Maxi. Lycav dive on the bombard cannon again. We have to be careful with these Cav archers. Okay, we save most of them from the halbs. We're gonna need more Hussar. Maxi no wood again, though. His halb queue is run dry. Well, it's plenty of food, but I don't know if that matters anymore. Okay, Maxi is pro player move buying wood. Actually pro player move by Maxi. Is he the first one to buy? Yeah, he is. Buying wood is so good right now because the prices, I think, were still bottomed out. Yeah. They were still so cheap. So getting the buy now is so much better than having to buy later. Still, Stray King has wood to take. Doesn't need to buy it yet necessarily in order to get it. Castle will fall for Stray King, which isn't protecting anything for Stray King, but it is making it more difficult for Maxi to take this wood line. This is fine. This is a good trade for Stray King. He loses the Hussar to the Halb, but the Halb are becoming expensive. The Hussar are still pretty cheap as far as things go. We do need more Hussar, though. Yeah. And this is really good for Maxi. More light cav in the farming eco. If Stray King runs out of Hussar, it's also a big issue. And Hussar right-clicked on the Treb are not gonna... Well, they're not gonna get it. They're so close. 6 HP. Okay, they will get it. But Stray King didn't notice this at all. He lost all of the villagers around these farms. Britons have to back up again. Okay, Maxi finally is able to take this wood line, so he's going to chew up the last little bits of wood that were here, which is great for him. I'm not a professional. I can't see how many kills buildings have. I'm not blind, I'm just poor. Maxi keeps throwing the halbs forward. I mean, I don't... I guess that is a big deal. What's Maxi's win condition right now? Is it just raiding Stray King to death? Or is his win condition actually getting siege and breaking down these buildings? Raids back here as well. This is not safe farming locations for Stray King. But he's running out of safe farming locations, really. I think I would delete these buildings, maybe, and start farming in here. It's the safest place on the map left. Take out one castle every 30 minutes. I think you'll run out of wood if that's your ratio. I think you'll be completely out of wood before you take out all these castles if we're waiting another 2 hours. Mojito calling for 200 skirmishers from Maxi. Okay. Thank you, Otter, for the subscription. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. So that I can be a pro one day. One day, maybe I'll be a pro caster for real. Maxi also sneaking the stone pile here, which is really nice. TTS too silent. Ooh, maybe I do need to turn up the text-to-speech, actually. I think I've slowly, because every time over the past month or so I've streamed, Otter has told me the game is too quiet. I think I've inched my volume up more and more. So maybe I do need to actually turn up the text-to-speech volume too. Yeah, I did read it anyway. Alright, this is Maxi's migrating to this wood line now. He's got a little over 3k left here. The stone is... I actually don't know. Where do you put a castle at this point for Maxi? Maybe like up in here. Try and take this wood line. More stables, but stables I don't think are the issue for Stray King. It's farms now. We're down to 48. Which... it's just not... it's simply not enough for the Hussar, right? This is legitimately going to be... this is going to be a pure wood game, I think. By which I mean there's not going to be any wood left on the map by the end of this game. Stray King's kind of running out too, though. He's got some wood back here still, but this is the last wood line Stray King's taking. And these bombard cannons are so expensive, and I don't know why we need them. I guess it's the only gunpowder that Stray King can afford to make anymore. And he likes his gunpowder. He keeps one alive. I mean, I guess if you're throwing away all that military to snipe the bombard cannons, maybe they are worth it. There's no Halb on the field for Maxi. There we go, he queues up more. Okay, I was gonna say, that's bad news. It's real bad news. Would it have been an option to delete all villagers earlier and put remaining res into an army for a final push? When there's still gold to have an actual good military, you can. In some situations, you can do that, and it's good, or can be good. But I don't know. I think that's an option if you're in a really bad position compared to your opponent, by which I mean, like, if one person has all the relics, or if they have like a way better position for the remaining wood lines long term, or something like some situation where you feel like you really don't have any chance in the super late game. I think it's viable there, but I think with how this game is played out, I don't know if I would have risked it either way. More raids, more farms being denied. Where are all of his vills? Here and back here. And some of them are going to die here to the Rattans. Not all of them, though. I mean, this is basically it for the wood, right? There's some back here still. How much is back here, actually? 13... like 2k. Maxi's out. This is it for Maxi. I'll do a little... okay, 400. 400 wood in the back. That might matter. The price is... Wait, who sold? Stray King? No, bro, not like this. And then he buys? Oof. And then he sells? What's happened here? Stray King is still selling wood. The last market was selling 1k wood. Ooh, man, that's tough. I actually think Stray King might have won this if he had a little more experience playing in the wood games. He's going for a lumber camp out here, but there's nothing left. He thinks there's still a wood line here, but there's not. That's really unfortunate. He was in an okay spot, but if you haven't played a lot of wood games, it's tough to realize how to play them out, I think, in the moment. Maxy's boxing. He's got his gloves on. We've butchered the world's ecosystem. There's no more wood left. We need these. They're more valuable than diamonds, literally. Okay, he's not actually taking the wood, though. He just came in to punch some guys. Okay. I don't know what that was about, but there was a pause, I guess. There's the castle. He's castling 400 wood. Okay. It did go where I said it was gonna go. It actually did. There's just nothing left here to castle. It went exactly where I said it was gonna go. There's just nothing left. Oh, bro. That's so good. There's 200 wood left. Ratan's rolling in. There's still wood back here. I don't know if Stray King notices that. I think that's it, except for the little bit in Maxy's corner. Both players are out of wood. Maxy still has 2,000 in the bank, but Stray King still has 2,000 in his base. So they're pretty much dead even. Stray King does have the relic advantage, and it is a pure relic advantage now that there's no more wood left to chop. Needs to delete this lumber camp, unironically. Maxy does hoover up the last couple hundred wood there, but he had to make a lumber camp for it. I think he does long range that, right? He gave up half of his wood profit making that lumber camp. It's over for Stray. It doesn't... I think it probably is, but it doesn't have to be, I don't think. Maxy has banked up 42 Rattan archers, which is pretty nice. But... Asar are here. They kill the villagers, which doesn't matter. There's nothing left for the villagers to take on the map anyway. Rattans pack inside of the castle as much as they can. Steal farms? Actually, you're right. Stealing farms would be so good. It's time. Maxy doesn't really have... Maxy's farming eco is really well packed in here, behind the castles. Yeah, there's some raiding opportunity here. But largely it's well set up, and Stray Kings is not. Yeah. Man. Ooh, GG is called. That was a great game. That was a really good game. I think if Stray King was buying wood instead of selling it all that time, I think he actually had a good chance in this one, but Maxy banked up the food, so he could have at least pumped out light cav for a long time. And yeah, I agree, Otter. I like the safe farms from Maxy back here. Welcome in Game 5, Maxy versus Stray King on Hyper Random. We've got bisecting sea walls, but there's no sea. And that's bad for Maxi because he is playing as the Chinese. He is up against the Khmer. What a funny, weird... So there's fences and seawalls. I guess technically you're not walled at all, right? Because you can... Oh wait, these are the... You can delete the fences and go through. And then you can delete these walls and go through. And the fences don't count, right? So I guess technically, even with all these walls, they aren't really walled because of how close they've spawned in together. And there we go. Maxi's opening Chinese cav archers, because of course he is. But cav archers are going to be a tough sell against the Khmer if they can get rolling here with the double crossbow, scorpions, and whatnot. Maxi looking for early eco damage. I think you still have to do early eco damage here. The Chinese are a pretty fast civ with the extra builds and whatnot. The Khmer are a slow civ. They don't get treadmill crane. So maybe Maxi can just rush them down. I think if he can't rush them down, it's going to be tough though. We had a conch start. Both players started with a conch as their scout. It's a big map, but I don't think I ever need to look at the rest of the map. I think I will look pretty much right here for the entire game, and that will be the entire game. So I don't... It's a bit of... I feel like... that's my only critique of hyper-random, is I do feel like quite a few hyper-random generations, for DM especially, like 80% of the map ends up being inconsequential, but... Live by the hyper-random, die by the hyper-random. I don't think Maxi did enough damage. He killed 4 villagers, so he has a pretty good villager lead. But I don't know if the Chinese have what they need anymore, because Stray King is into scorpions. He's getting ballista elephants out. Maxi's making... Well, he's making the things that the Chinese can make, which is like cav archers, rocket carts, and Chu Canoe. I really have no idea what the Chinese are supposed to do here. They don't get siege engineers, so I think even their rocket carts are kind of meh versus the Khmer here, maybe. Is Scorpions better than the ballista elephants? I think offensively they are, right? They're just way squishier, so I guess it depends. I think they do a lot more damage, right? If 4 more base attack, plus whatever their extra bonuses are. But to be honest, both of these things do quite well against basically anything the Chinese can make. And the rocket carts do more damage, I guess. So, you know, they're doing okay against the elephants here, but... Lack of meat shield is concerning? Yeah, but you don't need a meat shield if nothing can get in on your scorpions, right? And if you just get enough Khmer scorpions, even the cav is not going to make it in for very long. Oof. It is very satisfying, I will say. I'm sorry to Maxi and all of his fans, but it is very satisfying watching everything get mowed down by the scorpions. Trebs trying to pick away at the scorpions is a good idea, I think, but seemingly impossible to pull off. I think Stray King will end up with this, with a... Oh, I didn't give Maxi his last point, sorry. I think Stray King will turn this into a 3-2 at least. Unless Maxi really pulls something out here. A couple of good shots with the rocket carts. I think this is uphill, though, so it's not the best shots. Now battle elephants, which the Chinese also don't have a great answer for. Unless they can line up with the rocket carts nicely, but... But Maxi can't line up with the rocket carts nicely because the Scorpions just continue to roll in, machine gunning everything down in front of them. Can I look at the rest of the map? I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the middle to fight over. If the players were, like, not inside of each other's walls to start the game, I think maybe this could have been an interesting hyper-random generation, but it's not what it is. Castle now for Stray King. There's not too much wood on this map, right? There's like... So like, taking control over this stuff is actually pretty good. Yeah, Max is making skirms, which I don't think are the counter. As amazing as skirms are, I don't think they're the counter to Scorpions, unfortunately. Jukunu do pretty good damage to Siege, but they also take a lot of damage from the Scorpions. As long as Stray King doesn't run out of Scorpions. He has more in queue, but he is losing some. Maybe there's a chance here for Maxi. He's expanding around the back, which is good. But... rocket carts are here. There we go. Big delete of the walls. We love those moments. That's the arena classic, where you just shift delete all your walls and storm in. And it is indeed a storm in. All the rocket carts go down. Elephants and scorpions and rams and infantry in your walls. This ram is doming rocket carts. Gonna come over here and slam down some trebuchets now. Maxi's castles will fall, and I think Maxi has taken the set, but I think Stray King will take 2 points home. And really nice showing. I mean, how close that wood game was, right? To go back to it for a moment, now that I think this one's fully over. That's like, to have the set decided by that wood game is so peak as a viewer. I don't know how it feels as a player, but as a viewer, it's very nice to have that game. That super close, super back and forth game be a decider at the end. Yeah, Maxi really needed water for this matchup. Like I said, Maxi was praying for the right map generation no matter what civ he chose here, right? He had Chinese that need water, or Ethiopians that need to not be close. I think he might have been... well, I think he might have been dead either way, because unfortunately this was a close generation and there was no water. So I think it was going to be tough for Maxi either way, but... Khmer are so good. Great matchup for them. I do think the Khmer, at least, I think especially in the lower divisions, which I'm not, this isn't really a lower division, Div 9, but, so maybe I should say in like the non-pro divisions, I think the Khmer are cracked. Because as you go further down in divisions, people get less comfortable with the big siege ball, right? Which is kind of what you need against the elephants anyway. They're a very easy civilization to micro. You have the beefy elephants and then the super scorpions behind. Great set. GG's to both players. Maxi does take the series, but Stray King gets another 2 points. I think I can't look at the brackets still, right? There's still who is it? It's Greek versus someone that hasn't been cast yet. Greek versus Josh has not been cast yet, according to the calendar. So I unfortunately cannot look at the bracket without spoiling some things. But those points could end up mattering a lot to both of these players. For sure. Maxi has been in a lot of close series this season. Stray King, I think this is only his second set, though I might be wrong. So 2 points can come good.